Without that, consciousness cannot develop. So therefore, that's the basis, reason. There is continuation of consciousness. That's the basis of the life after life. So that further also they elaborate than Atma. But Buddha rejected independent self. So Buddha create concept of anathema theory. There's differences among the world religion. You know, Sangha philosophy, over 3,000 years, there are two types, two groups. One accept God, one accept no God. Then Jain philosophy, no God, no creator. Then Buddhism, same, no independent absolute creator, but ourself is creator. So self-creation. So there's differences. Those religions which start from Middle East, Judeo-Christian mainly, and then Islam, all believe creator. So in the philosophical field, there is many differences, but all carry, as I mentioned earlier, all carry same message of love, forgiveness, tolerance, self-discipline, all wonderful. So different philosophy is necessary. Among the human being, there are so many different mental dispositions. Therefore, you need different way of approach. But all different way of approach is same goal, to create more compassionate human being. That goal also, happy life. The theistic religion, wonderful. We all created by God. What is the nature of God? Infinite love. So we all children of that kind of Father. So if you seriously thinking, practice, then how can kill human being by human being? We all children of one Father. Then non-theistic religion is everything depend on our own action. Our future really depend present action. Action is related with our emotion. So more compassionate emotion. That creates ahimsa in this country. The 1,000 years old concept of ahimsa. Ahimsa does not mean out of fear and restraint, harming others. No, ahimsa, you have the ability to attack, to destroy, yet out of respect, their right, restraint, harming. That's ahimsa. So ahimsa, action level, ahimsa. Motivation level, karuna. So this country, over 3,000 years, the tradition, karuna and ahimsa. That karuna also, you see, through meditation, we can increase that. That's, I think, the greatness of Arya Bhumi's tradition, truly. So therefore, now the younger generation, the generation of 21st century, now you are the part of the builder of happy 21st century. Happiness very much related with peace. So I always telling, the 20th century, too many violence, too many suffering. Now 21st century should not repeat that kind of century. Now 21st century should be century of peace. So peace through inner peace. Without inner peace, you can't develop genuine peace. So in order to develop inner peace, the theistic religion pray to God. But here, non-theistic religion, the Indian, mainly Indian tradition, is, you see, training our mind, reduce anger through training. Like physical sort of, because of the health. Firstly, you have to know what kind of genes, germs are harmful to our physical, and then counter sort of force within these germs, like that. So accordingly, we avoid these germs which creates pains or illness. So because of that, with knowing these germs, this sort of particle harmful for our health, this germ good for our health. So in order to take care of your own body health, you see, we should know what things harmful, what things good. Similarly, the hygiene of emotion. What kind of emotion brings inner peace? That's compassion, karuna. What is the opposition of compassion? Is anger. Anger, no value. Immediately destroy peace of mind. Then constantly, you see, as I mentioned earlier, eating our immune system. Then physical condition become weaker, weaker, weaker. So healthy mind, peaceful mind, very important for healthy body. So now materialistic life, through materialistic education, we are not adequate knowledge about our inner world. So therefore, I am trying to revival of ancient Indian knowledge about our emotion, about our mind, and combined with modern education, modern technology. India really have the ability to combine the education or technology, scientific research. These are material matter. And meantime, how to create peace of mind. The peace of mind, very useful to carry investigation. Once our mind, too much emotion, you can't carry investigation properly. So calm mind, calm mind, very important. With calm mind, we can see things objectively. Too much emotion, we can't see the things, object. So, I think one of the aspects of destructive emotions, such as strong, the attachment, strong hatred, anger. You see, at that moment, your whole mind focusing just one aspect of that object. So you can't see the holistic. So without this sort of emotion, mind remain neutral. Then our intelligence to investigate unbiasedly, unbiasedly, the reality. Without emotion, we can see holistic picture, then investigate. Too much emotion, we are focusing just one aspect, so we can't see the holistic picture. So calm mind is very important. for your study, in your class, your calm mind, very important. I also, my early life, teenage, till I think 15, I also carry study, student. So at that time, I was quite lazy. So, you see, when the time time is because of chuzu. I think time, the one morning session, one afternoon session. So time about that session come, I feel something like whole sky darken. And then you see occasionally some holiday. Oh, then tomorrow holiday. Oh, I feel very happy. Now tomorrow no lesson. So I think these young brothers, sisters, also I think more or less is the same experiences. But you see, those things, those subjects which I learned with some sort of reluctance, gradually I really found immense helpful. This education provide something like opening our brain, our human intelligence. Education is very important. So we can see educated people, uneducated people, certainly emotional level more or less same. But you see the career life, according to circumstances, particular sort of circumstances, these educated people much successful. Therefore, education is very, very important. Now, meantime, so please, our younger brothers, sisters, please pay much attention for study, for education. Occasionally, you need holiday. But when you are in the class, your mind must focus on the subject. You see, on the classroom with some book, but your mind to go here and there, not good. So must concentrate on the subject. Then important thing is, no matter how brilliant brain, the motivation side, anger, too much selfish. And then this intelligence sometimes is becoming more harmful. So this wonderful human intelligence must combine with warm-heartedness. So that's very important. That I always tell people, and particularly younger generation. So this time I want to share with you. And number one, as a human being, human intelligence properly used for that, warm-heartedness important. Then, second level, religious harmony. This country is the example, religious harmony. All major religious traditions live together in this country. So beside homegrown different tradition, from outside, Zoroastrian, and then Christian, Islam, all these, Judaism, all these come here, live together harmoniously. So therefore, the religious harmony is, I think, India is example. Religious harmony is possible. This country, over 3,000 years, religious harmony, tolerance there, on the basis of ahimsa, like that. And then, modern India, now you need more attention about ancient Indian knowledge about mind, about emotion, that you should pay more attention. Just modern education, very much oriented about material value. That education, that kind of education creates materialistic life, materialistic culture. So when that society facing some problem, emotional problem, they only rely on alcohol, drugs. They do not know how to tackle our emotion. So India have the ability to combine ancient Indian knowledge, how to tackle our emotion, then modern knowledge, how to build country economically, technologically, and all these modern sort of things. So India, I think, in the past history, India, truly great nation. Now in future, also you see, this nation can make certain significant contribution regarding world peace through inner peace. Thank you. Now some questions. Now question.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Sir, you started the lecture with World War I, World War II, and the order and the century being built upon it. Sir, every great civilization Sorry?
Yes, question.
Yeah. Sir, every great civilization of the past, whether Indus Valley civilization or the Mesopotamian civilization, came to an abrupt end. We didn't even know about it. So do you think this civilization of ours, which is built upon this global order in the 20th century, is sustainable, or would we meet a similar tragic end? And what would be the cause? Growing inequality or environmental disruption? What's your view?
What point? I believe through education and through deeper experience, human being, generally speaking, becoming more mature. Look, 20th century, even in 20th century, in early part of 20th century, when nation declare war on your neighbor, all the citizens of that nation, without slightest question, they proudly join war effort. Now that later part of 20th century completely changed. Like weather war, American people very much against war, like that. So the early part of 20th century, like France and Germany, you see, arch enemy. Through centuries, fighting, killing. Then after Second World War, they create the European Union, headed by German Chancellor Adenauer and France de Gaulle. So these are we human beings mature through too much suffering. So I feel, judging 20th century, I think humanity becoming more mature, and then think common interest more rather than national interest. And one time, the 가서 잘했지. 가서 식사하는데. 비누밥이야. Baba, Achaya Binobabe, you see, once express idea A, B, C. A, Afghanistan, B, Burma, C, Sri Lanka, then India, Pakistan, some kind of federation. So you see, at the modern India, at least, you see, East India, South India, West India, North India, different language, different script, but all happily remain in union. So these, I think the human being becoming more mature and seeing common interest like that. So that's my view. Next question.
His Holiness, I don't have the mic as yet, so I'm just going to ask the question. His Holiness, good morning. Thank you for blessing us all here. I'm Vandana Shah. I'm an advocate. That's why probably I didn't need the mic.
Karsa.
His Holiness, my question is that women are usually at the bottom of the chain in any society. I would like to know whether there will ever be a lady Dalai Lama.
Karsa. Oh. Firstly, Buddha give equal right, male and female. The highest ordination, bhikshu, bhikshuni. And then in Tibetan or in Indian great Buddhist master, some bhikshu, some bhikshunis. And yogi, yogini, they are equal. Then I think more than 15 years ago, one occasion, one magazine, in French, one magazine, mainly ladies, for ladies, the editor, she came to see me, and she asked me, in future, Dalai Lama can be female Dalai Lama. Then I immediately say, yes. If the circumstances is such female body more effective, then certainly yes. Among Tibetan sort of high Lama, like Samdik Dorje Parmo, I think since 700 years ago already, that whole lineage, female, very high sort of position among the reincarnation, Samdik Dorje Parmo, like that. So it is quite, I think, in Tibetan sort of tradition, Buddhist tradition, very liberal, no problem.
Thank you very much.
But of course, the 14th Dalai Lama, now through surgery, I think impossible to make a female.
Hello? Hello?
Thank you so much.
Namaste, Your Holiness. Namaste and welcome. I'm Elsie Gabriel, environmentalist and journalist. My question to you is, we beg your message today on fighting climate change and we adults leaving behind a more intactful planet for our next generation, our students here.
Yes, it is very, very important. Global warming really now become very serious. According to my own lifetime, when we were young, those mountains, the surrounding Lhasa, usually you see some whole year, some snow. But that gradually, year by year, less and less. Now in Dharamsala, now 59 years, or 1 year I spent in Mussoorie. Then 1960, the government of India arranged my more or less permanent residence in Dharamsala. So summer 60, I shifted to Dharamsala. That winter, very thick snow at our place. Saw ashram. They are very thick, about 1 foot. You see, thick. Then, year by year, snowfall less. So, few occasions, I sort of request some local authority. Now this, eventually shortage of water may face at Dharamsala. So, concerned people should make some plan, water reserve, Dharamsala. At the moment, no worry. Water harvesting. So they, now in Tibet also, now gradually, level of the river and some lakes less. So when I, because of flying on and from Europe to India on Afghanistan, very clear sort of picture. And previously huge lake, now some cases become very small lake, some cases completely dry. So therefore, now they, due to global warming, the water shortage really become very serious. So we have to think very seriously how to take also the care about water, about environment. It's very important. Yes?
His Holiness the Dalai Lama. I'm Pallavi Kochar from IIT Bombay. I would like to ask you that what is the relationship between spirituality and eternity?
Karsa. What?
What is the relationship between spirituality and eternity?
Correct. What? I don't know. What do you mean, I don't know? Eternity is not correct. You remember? Oh, like space and atom, eternal. No.
Can we have a question from that corner? Upper left. You would want to give equal chance to everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? This is Professor Dr. Mohammed Nada, Culture and Education Counselor, Embassy of Egypt. Thanks for your excellency to mention the civilization of Egypt and the previous and long history civilizations of Egypt, India, and China. The question for your excellency: what's the expectation for the future, integrating the new technologies, especially in this very high-end technological festival? And thanks for the invitation for this event. What's your excellency expectation of the role of technology in taking into consideration these big civilizations and historical countries like India, Egypt, and China? Thank you.
What? What's the main question?
The expectation,
Main point.
the expectation of the role of technology, especially this festival is talking about the high-end technologies and the advancement in relation to the long historical and big civilizations of countries like Egypt, India, and China.
Karsula.
How technology can play a role in the future, taking into consideration the big civilizations.
Yes, nowadays this is a scientist or technologist. They say, Karsa, Samlo.
Artificial intelligence.
Oh, artificial intelligence through technology. I don't believe that. Mind is mind. One story, and many years ago, one occasion in Japan, one meeting, some scientist. So one Japanese scientist who believe only brain, no consciousness. So there are a number of scientists who believe only brain, no such consciousness or mind. So that Japanese scientist, also used to believe that. Meantime, he also, very much worry about, recently his son passed away. So very much worry. So then only brain, then I think we should remove that part of brain, then no longer any worry. So the emotion related with a certain level of brain, I think this part of the brain mainly related with sensorial consciousness. Now this brain, emotion. So if emotion, including suffering, because of sadness, purely related with brain, and then you should operate. That's impossible. Now, early part of 20th century, many scientists not accept existence of mind, only brain. The later part of 20th century, through their experiment, investigation, particularly those individuals who can meditate few hours. So while they meditate, some wires put on their head and then some investigation. Now later part, some of the top scientists, especially brain specialists, now they feel, oh, there is something, whatever you call mind or consciousness, it can affect our brain. Because
His Holiness is referring to neuroplasticity.
So training our mind or mental state makes effect that. So now some scientists already accepted existence of mind. So over 30 years, I have serious discussion with modern scientists, mainly four fields: cosmology, and then neurobiology, then physics, including quantum physics, then psychology. In these mainly four fields, as a result of discussion over 30 years, it became very clear, it's very useful to mutual learning. We also find some useful information, like Big Bang theory. essential in Buddhist text clearly mentioned 5 elements. This is the basis of whole galaxies come and disappear, come and disappear. But more detailed explanation, the scientific finding, very useful. Then, neurobiology. Through a certain sort of knowledge, yoga practice, you see, have some sort of explanation about the different channels, these things, quite useful. And Tibetan medical system also used to have some knowledge, so useful. Then quantum physics. India, as I already mentioned, it's a quantum physics. I think that subject, when we discuss with the scientists, that subject very familiar for us, like that. Then consciousness. Sometimes I sort of, maybe too bold, I express the modern psychology, compare ancient Indian psychology, then modern psychology looks like kindergarten level. Indian psychology, highly developed. So many scientists very, very eager to learn from ancient Indian psychology, Indian knowledge about mind, emotion. So,
Hi, good morning, His Holiness, and good morning.
So the was a technology, ultimately human beings' mind control. So I think just technology alone produce human mind, impossible. Yes, next question.
Can we have the next question? Yeah.
Good morning, His Holiness. Good morning, everyone. I'm Preeti Goyal, and it's an honor and privilege to be here. I want to ask a question wherein I think most of us can benefit. The question is, how can we practice compassion, and if there are any tips for where we can manage our anger, or any books that you could suggest, please? Thank you.
As I mentioned earlier, we are in the category of different mammals. We are a social animal. Any social animal, biologically, there is certain sort of also the ability to bring together. So, other animal, social animal, they have a limited sort of altruism among themselves. That's very necessary for survival. So, individual, social animal, their survival depends on the community. So, sense of sort of oneness, sense of sort of community there. Without that, they can't survive. Then we human beings, also social animal. Therefore, the seed of compassion biologically there. Now the important is when we were young, these human value very much sort of fresh. Then once we join modern education, no one talking about these inner value. So then these basic sort of value become dormant survey, dormant. And just material value, money, power, all these, then no relevant these inner value. But society, as a social animal, in the family, billionaire, very rich, but without affection in the family member, that family never be happy family. Poor beggar, materially very poor, but full of affection. Very happy. It can be very happy sort of family. Like that, we are a social animal. Biologically, we need certain sort of emotion which bring together. So I feel, you see, so we have this intelligence. So use intelligence, the basic human value, then can further increase or at least kept. These things, compassion, not sort of talking about next life or moksha or nirvana. Compassion, our day-to-day life, the warm-heartedness is very important. Part of our education about our health. So we can teach these things. Not, Buddha says such things, or other sort of spiritual leaders say such things. No, not relying on these quotations. Just simply our common sense, use common sense. Like that. Okay, next question.
I guess we can have one last question. Can you please come ahead quickly?
Welcome. I think a better thing is, easier thing, those people who have some question, come, either this or this, then keep that microphone here. Microphone. People who have some question, come here and here. Yes?
Good morning, sir. To bring the peace of mind and peace in the world, which religion we must follow?
Kosa. All religion carry same message of love. I already mentioned, you see, different method, different philosophy, but all carry same message of love. The question is, whether you accept religion or not, up to individual. Once you accept religion, then you should be serious, sincere. Then all religion have same potential. I never state Buddhism is best. I never say. Like medicine, you see, you cannot say, pick up one medicine, this is best medicine. You cannot say. According the patient's condition, then we can say, for your case, this medicine is best. Like that, religion, you cannot say one religion is best. We cannot say. According the practitioner's mental disposition, some people, theistic religion is much more powerful. Some people, non-theistic religion, much more powerful. Like that. Next.
Vandami Bante. Sir, I do know about the cause and effect, the combined vipak. Okay. So now, when we see that there are earthquakes, there are tsunamis, and it's kind of lot of people die at the same time. Like a karma is actually reason for your death and birth both. So how does that happen? Lot of people die at the same time, and how do we remove that fear if that happens with me? So why does that happen? A lot of people die together. Thank you.
Lelia, Tangde, Sa, Ratumung Sasha Legic, Gekus Sasha Legic, Namda Mok Shujore.
So with regard
according to Indian tradition.
So with regard to karma, which is in the according to the Indian tradition, there are karmas which are said to be collective karmas, which could be, which could ripen and in the environment that you live in, so that these kind of things happen.
So the subject karma, there are a lot of explanation, very, very detailed sort of kasoda categories and mention. Broadly speaking, yes, some sort of common karma, and common karma make contribution regarding the Big Bang, these things. Like that. Next question. Yes? Melrum. The Melrum must keep here. Huh?
Sir, I wanted to ask, how do we understand God? Is it a concept or an existence?
Due to different philosophical views, so it is a wrong person to ask that question. Buddhism, no God. So strictly speaking, from the theistic religious viewpoint, Buddhist are atheist. So wrong person to ask. Oh, there's one story in Tibet. Someone who have not much knowledge about this whole system of Buddhahood, or the Sanskrit word gade, parasamgade, buddhi soha. It's a stage, step by step, eventually become Buddha. So without knowing these things, then someone, you see, the person, suppose I'm a Lama, supposed to give teaching. So without much knowledge about these things, then someone stand among the audience, someone stand, then ask, where is Buddha or God? And then the Lama is mentioned with this kind of finger, or point to space. In empty space, kasata, mingun nange yingshi la, lafta, mingun nange yingshi la, sheji kampe na lo, very shuyaris.
So the teacher actually responded by saying that up there in the empty space, the Buddha stays or resides in a crystal palace.
So that's a nonsense. Buddha nature here. Our ultimate nature of our consciousness is pure. All negative emotion is, you see, due to certain cause it happened. But pure mind is clear. We usually call clear light. That's Buddha nature, Tathagata Garva. Okay. Now next. Oh, the Belgium must keep here.
Pranams, you spoke so much of compassion. We have, in practicing compassion, should we give more importance, superiority to human life as compared to animal life? Or should, for example, should animals be cleared, forests be cleared to make space for comfort of humans?
Life is concerned, all sentient beings have sort of life. So each one love their own life. Therefore, the vegetarianism, very important. So the thousands, millions of animals, for economic reasons, that I think too far. And then the fish, limitless fish exploit without any feeling. That I think very sad. So we must respect all form of life. So India's vegetarianism, very important. Now sometimes I notice, see, when aeroplane flying, so see a lot of poultry. In early period, not much. In the name of economic development, lot of also the killing animal also come. I think should be careful. I feel that.
His Holiness.
As far as you know, the Tibetan monastic institution, everywhere, they have common kitchen. Now completely stop using non-vegetarian food. Always vegetarian food. Okay.
His Holiness, is rainbow body a true phenomenon? And if it is, how do we achieve it?
Kasa, Ming Kasa inches. Rainbow body. Very far, no hurry. I have some knowledge, but I not yet sort of reach even first step. So very difficult. Better study philosophy, shunyata, and then study about bodhicitta, these two things. I also spent over 60, 70 years meditation, thinking about shunyata, about altruism, bodhicitta, really affects my emotion, my mind. But the rainbow body, only on theoretical level.
Hello. Hello, Holiness. Hello, His Holiness. I am Megha Jadhav. I want to ask one question that how to teach our kids not to get angry.
Karsa, article.
I guess this would be the last question. His Holiness is running short of time. We have a very fixed schedule. There is an entire day of Techfest. So we would really appreciate if you all cooperate. We have already extended our time by 15 more minutes. So this would be the last question. No question after that. It's a request.
As I already mentioned, through training, awareness, what the value of anger, what is the value of compassion, then you see people develop more interest about compassion. Firstly, you see they love physical health. And then also, you see, the lady, sometimes half joke, I'm mentioning, the lady spend some money for, what's it,
Cosmetics.
Cosmetics, and including lipstick, these things. A lot of sort of external beauty. Without inner beauty, no good. So more compassionate attitude, smile. Oh, that's more important, isn't it? Many years ago, in 60s, one originally monk official, wonderful sort of person. I trust him, wonderful. So eventually he disrobed. And then one day I teased him, oh, your wife not that much attractive. Then his answer is, physically not much attractive, but inner beauty is extremely good. Then I have nothing to say. So inner beauty is important. Okay.
Thank you so much. Excuse me, please cooperate. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks a lot, His Holiness Dalai Lama, for your blessings for being present at Techfest IIT Bombay and your wonderful and inspiring speech. I would like to now invite Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Soumya Mukherjee, sir, to say a quick vote of thanks.
I take this opportunity to convey our heartfelt gratitude to His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, for accepting our invitation to visit IIT Bombay. I must thank his entire team for all their efforts in bringing His Holiness here. The Techfest organizing team led by Himanshu Kala needs a pat on the back for the tireless efforts. I hope the faculty, staff and students who attended the program today really enjoyed the interaction with His Holiness. On behalf of IIT Bombay, I thank all the guests who have come here. I would like to thank Professor Devang Khakar, the director of the institute, for gracing this occasion and for making Techfest 2018 a success in every way. I must express my thanks to the deputy directors, Professor Suresh and Professor Mojumdar, for all their help. An event of this level of importance cannot happen overnight. The wheels have started rolling a long time back, and it requires a lot of planning and eye for details. We have been fortunate to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues of the institute, particularly those in the Dean Student Affairs Office, Ranjit and Lakshman. And finally, a big thank you to the IITB Estate Office, the Security Office, led ably by Colonel Mishra and guided by Professor Tapanandu Kundu, the Mumbai Police, who have helped us all along, and finally the Office of the Public Relations Officer. Thank you, Falguni, wherever you are. Once again, thank you very much. Enjoy Techfest. There are a lot of nice things to see at every corner in the campus for the next 3 days. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Soumya Mukherjee. I would like to invite Anumay Ashish to present a memento to Professor Soumya Mukherjee, to Dr. Devang Khakar and His Holiness Dalai Lama. I would, thanks. फोटो चाहिए इनको सर उधर ही ट्रॉफी नहीं हाँ वो पहले पेंटिंग के साथ नहीं आप I would request Anumay Ashish to present a memento to His Holiness Dalai Lama. I would like to request Director Sir to present IIT memento to His Holiness Dalai Lama. Thank you so much, His Holiness, for your presence. It was a delight to have you at Techfest.